Welcome back, everybody. I'm just relaxing here at the cabin. I have a little bit of time here before I leave, and I wanted to give you a couple of comments on the Superman film. It's been a month of Superman here at McNulty's Book Corral, celebrating the literary legacy of the Man of Steel. And I've had a lot of fun putting those episodes together. What about the film? I loved it. I thought it was great. I think it's a really good film. It's the most unique Superman film. It has scenes in it and ideas in it that we've never seen before. Really well done. James Gunn has brought back the hope with Superman. A couple of comments to make on the casting. The casting is superb. I expect that with any big budget film put together by a seasoned director, successful director such as James Gunn, he knows how to cast a film, and he did a great job. Everybody is perfect. David Cornsweet is Superman. Rachel Brosnahan is Lois Lane. Nicholas Hoult, I think I pronounced that right, is Lex Luthor. And Lex Luthor's role is particularly well written. The script overall is great, has a lot of heart to it. Lex Luthor character comes alive. He is a menace, as he should be. He is evil. And that's what we needed. Really wonderful. All of the casting. Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, the Green Lantern. Really fun to see him in there. And I liked the script. I liked the overall production. A lot of CGI. It's almost exclusively a CGI film. Krypto is, I understand, entirely CGI, which I think they could have had Krypto as a dog. Filmed a dog, at least to give a dog film credit. I think James Gunn should look at what can be done with live animals in Hollywood productions, and they can be trained and do a good job. Obviously, most of what Krypto does needs to be CGI, and it is. But the character of Krypto in the film is a scene stealer. Really fun. I loved all of the casting. I loved the production. The storyline was really interesting. For me, the heart and soul of the film is a very quiet moment, and there are not many quiet moments in this movie, where Superman goes back to talk to his father, Pa Kent, and they have a little discussion there on the porch where Pa Kent tells him, "Your actions define who you are." That, to me, is the heart and soul of the movie, bringing back the hope and so forth. Again, the casting is great. I've enjoyed, I have to put this in here as an insert. Even Zack Snyder knew how to cast a film. Zack Snyder's problem was he didn't know how to put together a film that was bright and hopeful, because Zack Snyder never understood the character of Superman, or, in my opinion, really any of the characters from the DC universe. The casting, Henry Cavill was great as Superman. All of the actors throughout the years, Kirk Alyn, George Reeves, and Christopher Reeve, and the guys on television, all of them have been fine. All of the Lois Lanes. Of course, for nostalgic reasons, I would choose George Reeves and Noel Neill as my favorites because of the television show. And I've met Noel Neill quite a few times, actually. Here's a picture of her popping up. I liked Brandon Routh's depiction of Superman. His film is underrated. I met him. Here's a picture of him popping up. So, I'm a Superman fan. So because I'm a Superman fan, I'm really not going to dig deep and be critical. I'm critical of Zack Snyder because he demonstrated a blatant misunderstanding of the character of Superman, particularly. And his films did not offer hope and brightness. James Gunn has brought hope back. A couple of comments about the costume. The costume is poorly designed, Superman's costume. But that's not a reference to the stylized S symbol, which really that particular version originated, I believe, with Kingdom Come, the comic book, which is fine. The stylized S symbol didn't bother me. It still represents hope for all mankind. What bothered me was the excessive amount of embroidered stitching and it made it look kind of bulky, like pajamas, in certain angles and depictions. Very minor a very minor criticism on my part that they really could have done a better job with the costume. But again, not the S symbol. It is what it is. The film overall does represent the legacy of Superman. It's a wonderful movie. Great things in it. They're leaning toward the Justice League in some manner. They're calling it the Justice Gang here. We have Guy Gardner and Hawk. Is it Hawk Girl or Hawk Woman? I was never quite clear what she's referred to in the film. I don't remember anyone actually saying, hey, it's Hawk Woman or Hawk Girl. And if that's the case, where's Hawkman? A couple little things there that they need to get to if this is going to be a series, which I understand it will. So did I like it? I loved it. It's my favorite Superman film since the first Christopher Reeve and Brandon Routh in The Return of Superman. Of course, for nostalgic reason, I'm a fan of the Kirk Alyn Superman. He was the first one on film. His flying sequences were all animated, but the rest of the film is live action. I'm a fan of Max Fleischer's cartoons from the 40s, which I have on Blu-ray and which I'll be mentioning in a future episode that I've already filmed. Now, why did I do that? Because I'm traveling. I'm really not here right now. Pretty close to me leaving right now. So, and going elsewhere for other things. We'll get to that later. So, again, if you're a Superman fan and collector, you're going to like the film. I'm looking forward to the next one. I like James Gunn because his Guardians of the Galaxy films surprised me. He does take lesser-known characters and make them into something that you can relate to. An animated raccoon with a gun. That's, what I'm saying? Not exactly Marvel's high point in creativity, and yet James Gunn, with his filmmaking ability, he turned it into something special. He's doing that here with Crypto. Loved seeing Supergirl at the end. Leading into her film has already been completed and will be next, based upon the now very famous comic book, which I discussed in a previous episode. Okay, so that's just it. I just wanted to get that out there for the record. People ask, what did you think of it? I mean, Kirk Alyn, George Reeves, Christopher Reeve, and the television actors, I'm a fan of all of them. I'm a fan of all the Lois Lanes. I don't have a quibble over that. With a good production should be able to find qualified actors who can play the roles. Good, really good, great script, great action sequences. A lot to think about here. By the way, I have to mention, it was great seeing Metamorpho in a motion picture. Very well done by James Gunn. A lot of interesting characters and references. Looking forward to the next one. A month of Superman, my friends, has come to an end. And now, stay well, stay happy. Feed your beautiful minds, please. Read a book.